When I see a two-wheel drive car coming up our road, it's an obvious indication that the road must be drying out. What I didn't know was moments after seeing that car come up our road, that car got stuck, and Cedar, coming up the road in her Highlander, had to pull the car out. Go all the way to that corner. Well, that's interesting. All right. Feet 3 inches, is that what you got? Feet, 4.5 inches. Okay, now go from this corner to that corner, to the outside. Okay.
55, 10.
1/2 inch square. So it's square. So, a 14-foot wide door is what I was thinking. So I would saw cut the concrete here. The door opening would start right here. So if you think about standing back right here, the opening is not centered on the building.
It's okay.
If that's the only front door, then I build a covered porch over this so when the snow slides it doesn't hit it. You know, not that big of a deal, right?
You definitely want a steeper slope so we don't have to scrape snow.
No, this will slide. Yeah. It's basically the same pitch as the roof.
But it's going to be steeper. Steeper, so the snow will slide out.
Same pitch as this. Is the second story, not the bottom story. It's going to be, yes.
Yeah, same like that, but there's not going to be a landing for the snow.
No.
Yeah.
I'm getting down to where I've only got a few major projects left on the house. I've got to tile the laundry room floor, do the brickwork behind the fireplace, and finish the handrail down the stairs. There is a little bit of trim work here and there that I've got to do, but for the most part, that's it. I find myself thinking constantly about the shop. I got my first bid this week on the trusses associated with the shop just to get an idea of what things are going to cost. And to have 20 trusses built and delivered up here is going to cost me right around $5,000. Now the question is, do I frame it traditionally, just like I did the house, or do I frame it in a timber frame fashion? Do I spend time off in the woods, cutting down every tree, milling every beam, and doing this in a sort of timber frame fashion, other than the fact that I would use big lag bolts and lag all the beams together instead of doing it in a traditional timber frame fashion? If I frame it conventionally, I can have it done a lot quicker. If I do it timber frame style, it will take me months. There's just no way around it. But the difference is when I'm finished, it would be an incredibly unique barn that I would be more than proud to have. Doing it in a timber frame fashion actually would be cheaper, but I'm nervous that it would literally take me until winter to get it finished. In the meantime, while I'm thinking about these things, I buckled down on the upstairs bathroom and decided to get it finished. We loved the subway tile so much downstairs that we decided to do the upstairs bathroom just the same. There will always be something to do around the house, I'm sure, as the wear and tear happens. But getting the obvious big things finished up will be such a load off our backs. Now I've got many projects planned for the warm months. One of the big obvious things that we've got to get figured out is where we're going to garden. Cedar and I talked about where this would be, but now I need to move a little bit of dirt around to get this done. Because I don't currently have a backhoe or an excavator, I'm trying to figure this problem out. But at the same time, I'm afraid things are going to get quite a bit cheaper in the coming months. So I'm trying to be patient. But we have to get our garden in ASAP. Now, after living through our first winter, there's already things I want to change. I hate looking out our window and looking directly at our solar panels. I've got two options. I can put the solar panels on the roof, which I don't want to do, or I can scoot them further up the hill. This is what I'm probably going to do. Now, initially, I thought that I needed to have the solar panels within about 100 feet of the house because of the potential power drop from the solar panels to the inverter. But the inverter that we have will allow the solar panels to be as far away as 500 feet. So if I scoot them a little bit further up the hill, this shouldn't be an issue, other than the fact that I get to scoot them a little bit further up the hill. Also, in the back of my head, I think about the little cabin that I want to build. A couple of days ago, I jumped on the four-wheeler, rode it as far as I could up the hill, and then I hiked around on the back of our property. It's almost too much to take in. Not only thinking about all the work that I need to do just to get trails cut in back there, but just the idea that we own this property is a bit overwhelming. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. There's a little bit of truth in that statement.
After working on our house for almost 3 years now, Heath and I have kind of figured out each other's roles in this whole thing. He is super good at building and creating things, and I stay out of his way, and then he stays out of my way while I clean up after him, and it works out great for us.
Are we having lunch?
Yeah, you ready for lunch?
Yeah.
What are you hungry for? You want a ham sandwich?
Sure.
Now, I still intend on thinning much more of our property, but at the same time, there's also areas of it that I intend on leaving the maple groves as they are. Where I want to put the cabin is right in the middle of one of these maple groves. But cutting a road in back to the cabin, I found was much easier with the excavator. About 2 weeks ago, I drove down to the Kubota dealership, started trying to get an idea what it was going to cost me to get a new excavator, started making considerations. But I decided to wait, think on it a bit, see what used Kubotas sell for. And in the middle of this, obviously, the economic uncertainty is causing me to slow down just a little bit. But I have to have something. If I traditionally framed the shop and got it finished much faster, that would leave more time for projects like the cabin, like the root cellar, like adding another water tank, like building a cabin around our water tanks. All of these things that my brain constantly thinks about, like stacking rocks against our hill right next to the house for our rock wall. There's plenty to do. Matter of fact, there's a lifetime of work up here, but cutting it up into bite-sized pieces and not becoming overwhelmed is a challenge. Our little Massey Ferguson tractor needs work right now. But I've been putting off repairing the tractor for a few weeks now. The rear main seal on our Massey Ferguson 135 leaks pretty severely. So much so that I'm worried that I could hurt the engine by running it. We're gonna try and roll it backwards.
Oh, roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Okay, that's basically it. Hang on. We're almost there. The jack's not rolling. It finally dried out enough that I decided to jump into it. But anybody that has split a tractor knows that it's incredibly difficult to do it when the ground isn't completely flat. It's best to split a tractor on concrete. I don't have concrete, so we're making do with what we have. So I need to roll this thing forward like 2 feet more. And we're gonna have to grab the tires and do it with the kick that board over there on the ground. This big board on the ground. Just kick it in more right there. It didn't take that long to get everything removed and ready to be split, but I spent more time thinking about how I would split the tractor and how I could do it safely and how I could also do it in a way where I could get it back together without too many challenges before I finally just jumped in and did it. It's a little 3-cylinder Perkins diesel, and truthfully the motor could probably stand to be rebuilt, but again, I don't have a shop to do this in, so it's not going to happen right now. The weather where we live can go from freezing cold to a sunburn in the same day. Setting up a little protective shade always helps. I finally got the tractor separated. I took the brand new rear main seal that I had and I soaked it in some oil, which was suggested to me. And that actually softened up the seal so much that I couldn't press it into its proper position. So now I'm stuck with a tractor split in two, waiting for the new $3 part to show up. Cedar's been looking for an opportunity to make some bread. some of this wheat that she's using, we got in 1999. While I hated eating whole wheat bread as a kid, it brings back so many memories as I eat it now.